Hey guys, I'm Chris Williams with VIRTUE Paintball. I'm here to show you the VIRTUE In-Charge lithium-ion battery pack. I'm going to install it in the Spire 3. I've got a Spire 3 280 here. Also works, of course, in the regular Spire 3. Works in the Spire 200, Spire 260, Spire IR. Works also in the Rotor, the R2, and the RTR, if I'm remembering those right. And it's basically all the Dye Rotor variations. It comes with everything that you need to install in those loaders. So here's the battery pack itself. It's lighter than typical traditional batteries. It's about 40% of the weight. It has a battery indicator there you can hold in there. So when you want to check your battery level, you just press that and it's going to light up to show you what it's at. They come at about 75%. You can use it all the way down to 25 or below, but we recommend when you get to 25, recharge it, or even at 50 if you kind of want to just be paranoid. But I think it's a good thing if you especially just if you're back and playing at a tournament, you can charge it up when you charge your cell phone. You can carry an extra little power brick around that you can charge on the go from if you needed to in a bind. So it's a pretty cool option here. So you're not ever searching for batteries. You just always can grab your phone charger and charge it up. But it's going to be good for about 20, maybe 30,000 shots. Obviously depends on the loader, depends on the use and the kind of use you're putting into it. But you're going to get better battery performance than you would out of traditional alkalines, and it's going to be on par with high-end lithium-ion AA's. So, okay, I've set that aside here, and I'm going to show you the Spire 3. This is the 280 in Mocha. Open the back shell, take the tray out, and I'm just going to disassemble it here. So first we're going to unplug the motor from the circuit board here, and then you just press this tab here to release the raceway. The raceway comes out, and then we just flex that tab there, circuit board comes out. And we're going to use a screwdriver to remove the battery pack in here. So right now there's a nut on the back side. I'm just going to hold that in here with my finger and then just unscrew this here. You might not need to, but just to keep it from threading and spinning around. Actually, it looks, there you go, there's the nut and the screw. Looks like while I did that I kind of just popped this out. If you happen to do that when you're manhandling things with your big hand, you just line it up and you can kind of just scrape at it with your fingernail and it'll start to come through and then you can pull it out. So that's the silicone shock absorber for the G-force sensor. So just make sure that you don't push that out like I just did. I've never actually done that before, but there we go. So to remove the battery pack, you remove the screw, but now you need to actually flex this away, and then you can take the battery cover there, and there's some little solder leads in there where it's attached. It's actually soldered to the board as well. So you can actually snap it off, but I'm just going to kind of flex it a little bit, and then I've gotten, looks like one of them came out. Just keep bending it, it'll open up there. If it doesn't come right off, grab your wire cutters, and that's just the nice and easiest way to do it. Just trim there, it comes right off. There you go. Now let's go ahead and plug this back in. You've got all the different wires and screws for the different loaders in here. This one's for the Dye Rotors, this one's for the 200, 260, this one here is for the Spire 3. So I'm going to unplug the existing wiring harness there. It's got like a little wire guide, just bending that with my finger. So now I can unplug that, set that aside, and let's just line this up here. Now, I've already installed this one in the other loader, so there's a hole that's been punched through by the screw. But just grab the brass screw and you can just push it through. This is just a pad here to protect anything from rubbing on the board. So you just push it through if that hole's not already there, and it'll just push right through. Now I'm going to line it up, put the brass screw through there, grab my nut, and I'm just going to hold that in place with my finger, and then with the screwdriver, screw it in. So don't need to go too tight, but just until it's nice and snug. There you go. And I'm going to plug it first into the battery pack. So make sure that the pins are lined up. You've got these two little guides here. Just make sure they're lined up with the slot on the battery socket there. Plug it in. And then I'm going to plug this into its corresponding slot on the circuit board. If you go in this order, first plug in the battery pack, and then plug into the circuit board, and then you can plug right into the motor. You'll be good to go. I'm rotating that around because I didn't do what I was saying. You got to make sure you're lining up again, that the pins are in the right spot. So get this lined up in here. You can do this a few times, and you know, your fat fingers always get in the way sometimes. There you go. Okay, that's plugged in there, and now I'm just going to attach it to the tray. So I got the circuit board with the battery pack installed. I'm going to attach it to the tray. These two little slots here, they just line up in their corresponding slots on the tray. Make sure it's resting in there. And then I'm just going to flex the tray around one side and flex to the other. Those little tabs, just get it locked in. I'm trying to do it so you can see it on the video here. Makes it hard the way I'm holding it. There you go. That's plugged in there. And again, these slots just slot in right there. Plug in, snap it down, and then you can actually run this through. I didn't do it. Let me just take it back out. You can run this through this wiring guide. I'm going to do that right here. So put this back through that wiring guide there. Kind of hard to see what I'm doing with my fingers in the way, but maybe if I do the screwdriver, you can kind of see. So there's this little guide there. That's just going right over the wires. The wire's running right through it. There you go. Okay, so you don't need a screwdriver. You can just use your fingers, but so you can see what I was doing. Put that back on there. Get the wires out of the way. Snap it down. Plug it in. And making sure that your pins are lined up in the right spot. Okay, and let's go ahead and turn it on. You're good to go. You see that there's a yellow low battery indicator light that's flashing there when it first turns on. That's again because lithium-ion batteries, they run at a lower voltage. And this battery pack runs at a lower voltage than your typical off-the-shelf alkaline batteries. And there is an update for the Spire 3 that you can download over Bluetooth that'll allow it to, you to set your board and say, hey, I'm using the lithium-ion battery pack, and then that battery indicator won't show every time. But even still, with it showing, it's just going to blink yellow like there, and everything's just going to function as normal. And again, when you want to just check what your battery level is, you just hold that in, and that'll show you. That's going to show your battery level. So let me go ahead and load it back into the shell here. Okay, get it closed up, turn it on, make sure everything's good. Everything's good. Working nicely. So that right there is the Spire III 280 with the VIRTUE InCharge lithium-ion battery pack. You can check these out at your local paintball dealer, your preferred pro shop, or you can go on virtuepb.com or virtuepb.eu if you're in Europe. Thanks, guys.